Hey, Ideal Protein Nation, are you ready? Man, have we got an epic show for you? We've got the Ideal Protein Dynamic Duo today. I am so excited. Hey, I know that we're going to have a lot of new viewers and listeners, so I wanted to real quick introduce this show. The Life Possible podcast spotlights successful clients, coaches, and clinic owners. In fact, sometimes we find that successful clients become coaches and clinic owners, which you'll find out about today, who have actually used the Ideal Protein Protocol to reset their body, reset their mind, and actually reset what's possible for their life. These individuals are pursuing goals and dreams that they thought were dead and gone. They're pursuing goals and dreams that they never thought they could. And in some cases, they never even knew they wanted to. In short, they're busy living a life they love so much that they don't feel the need to escape from it. They're busy living a life that we call life possible. So, who am I and why am I doing this? Well, my name's Dr. John Barnes, and I'm the clinic director at Barnes Chiropractic Health and Fitness, soon to be called Reset Wellness. We're very excited about that, in Centerville, Virginia, a Washington, D.C. suburb. And you know what? There's no good way to put this, so I'll just be blunt. 6.5 years ago, I was fat, sick, and depressed. And quite frankly, I didn't see a way out. I knew that something had happened to my metabolism and my physiology, but I had no context for what had happened and why I couldn't lose weight anymore. So I gave up. And then, literally, I make no bones about this, God brought me the Ideal Protein Protocol through one of my chiropractic patients. And I truly believe it's the answer to a lot of my prayers, both personally and professionally. So here I am 6 years later, and not only have I started training and competing in the sport of triathlon, a couple months ago, I completed my very first half Ironman triathlon. I'm over 65 pounds down from that original picture and living a life that I feel is healthy, vibrant, and alive. So I created the show to bring you these stories and these guests so that hopefully there's something that you can identify with and understand that they are and I am just like you. And if we can do this, so can you. So who do I have today? Well, I tell you what, my featured guest today is Meghan Riley of True Body Dynamics Weight Loss. I first saw Meghan as Ideal Protein sent her through the feed on my clinic Facebook feed because she was featured in Ideal Protein's I Am marketing campaign. And man, I remember looking at the picture going, what a dramatic before and after. That's so awesome. And, then I just started to see Meghan's name crop up here and there. And before I knew it, I said, you know what? I have got to get Meghan on my show. In 2020, Meghan found herself newly diagnosed with high blood pressure and at a weight that she never wanted to see again, and in the middle of a pandemic. But after seeing a friend on social media who lost a lot of weight using the Ideal Protein program, she decided to follow up with her and find out what she did. Through this friend, she found the amazing Dawn Offel, a dynamic and experienced Ideal Protein coach and clinic owner. The rest, as we say, is history. And that will be the story that we are bringing you today. As a matter of fact, along with Meg, we actually have Dawn, and we're so excited to have her coach. I love featuring client and coach on the same because we're going to get to see a little bit of that relationship. Coach Dawn has been a coach and a clinic owner in Ideal Protein for over 11 years. She herself is extremely active, loves all kinds of sports and activities, and her dynamic and authentic style of coaching has been said that she could even motivate an ant, and I believe it. Let's bring them both in here. Let's just, no further ado. Where are you, ladies? Come talk to us. Hey, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Great.
Oh,
Thank you.
Absolutely my pleasure. I think that we've got a lot of great stuff for our viewers and listeners today. You ladies are really just fantastic ambassadors for Ideal Protein, and your stories are nothing short of amazing. So let's get to it. I want to start with you, Meg. Kind of finish your introduction for everybody. What did I miss? What do people need to know about you? I'm going to bring your graphic here back up.
Yeah, so I don't know that you missed anything really, but yeah, so it was literally 2 days before the pandemic. I saw my general practitioner and she diagnosed me with high blood pressure, and I had to start some medication. And I have a family history of type 2 diabetes, cardiac disease, high blood pressure, and I just it scared me. I was like, I am not going down that spiral. I don't want to be a part of what the family history is. So I knew I needed to lose weight. I had been trying for years, or sort of trying, and but then the world shut down, and
Yeah,
so I
right.
just kind of took my meds and put it on the back burner. Ate and baked and drank just like everybody else
Like
did.
everybody else, right?
Yeah. um, and then one day I saw a Facebook post from a friend of mine who used to live here and had moved to Austin, Texas. And she had posted a before and after picture, and she looked amazing. And I was like, okay, girl, what'd you do? And she pointed me to Dawn and Ideal Protein. So I called Dawn up. She gave me her presentation about the program, the protocol, and I was really skeptical. I
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later on. Um, th- just an amazing story, though. You found yourself stuck in the pandemic and you were heading in the wrong direction,
yeah
but you used the opportunity and you used that time to turn it around.
yeah.
Um, so, Dawn, why don't you help me out? Because I know I missed a lot in your introduction as far as your background, history, et cetera, with Ideal Protein. Catch us
Awesome.
up.
Yeah, I'm so honored to be here. So thank you, John, and thank you, Megan, and such great company. So, and welcome. Hello, Ideal Protein Nation.
All
So,
right. Hang on. I think we're going to, again, is that you, Meg? Did you honk that horn? Okay,
Yep.
so we do have to explain to everybody that horn in your nose or in your ears is coming from downtown Chicago because
probably
Meg's
won't
clinic
be the
is
last
right
one we
there.
hear.
It probably won't be the last one, so we'll have some sound effects for you this time. I'm sorry. Back to you, Dawn. Tell
You're
us.
good. All right. Every time I do a new start with my dieters, I always tell them where I've been. And I started this protocol as a dieter. And I had had 3 kids in 3 years, and I was still working full time with a crazy life. And I was training, lots of training. I've always trained my whole life for triathlon, etc. And when
Triathlon. What? Another
yeah,
triathlete in the house.
I think we have a lot of them in the house.
I think we have 3 triathletes in the house. This is so cool. Go
So
ahead.
the stars align, right?
Yep.
So anyway, one of the two of my neighbors, actually, one had lost like 60 pounds, complete transformation, and the other one had lost probably around the same weight. And I needed the structure. I wanted to go write that $400 check to start the program, and I needed the structure. I needed someone to tell me, to stop drinking alcohol, and so I did. I went in there as a dieter. I lost a good 20 pounds. And then my coach that was coaching me came to me and said, Dawn, I'm moving to Hawaii. And I think that you would be an amazing coach because people would listen to you. And I was
Yeah.
really skeptical at the time because I knew it would be a big financial, cut in my income to become a coach at the period of time. And so I interviewed with the doctor and he hired me and I took the leap, right? And just went for it. And I did the protocol. The doctor made us go down to 19% body fat as part of our requirements as a coach. And so we
Oh,
did that.
wow.
Yeah, it was, and I think it's a great idea. Not you don't have to go that low, but I think it's a really good idea as coaches that we do the protocol because then we can actually coach it better. So
Absolutely.
I was
Yeah.
mentored by him for 6 years, and then after that 6 year period of time, I went out on my own, and now I have my own standalone clinic, and now I have 2.5 clinics, right? So I have Marble Falls as well. And then Megan and I share ownership in her clinic as TBD.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about that as part of the
Yeah.
whole story that we've got going today. Yeah, you know, Dawn, it seems like, and you had said that you felt like you were just born for this, and I agree. Just with the 2 hours that we've spent together over the past 2 weeks, it's just been amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I do. After 11 years of coaching, I still am so passionate about helping people and really listening to what my dieters' needs are. And thank Ideal Protein that I have a vehicle to do it with, right? I wouldn't be able to do what I do without this phenomenal science-based program,
Yeah,
because, I mean, how could I do it otherwise, right?
yeah.
So I can't take all the credit. I have to give the credit to the mechanism behind all of us, right?
Yeah, no. But again, as a coach, I can see that you really go above and beyond and take it to that next level, which we're hoping that part of the motivation for the show is also to try to inspire Ideal Protein coaches to
Yep.
understand the value of what they do, what they bring to the table, and to really inspire them to give it their all. And so I think you've got an inspirational message for us at the end of the show. Stick around for that. It's really going to be great. But so let's do this again. Like I said, I really enjoy seeing the client coach relationship and kind of talk about the process of going through phase one. And so we're going to bring it back to Meghan's personal journey. And so she had just had the consultation with you, and I'm sorry, did you say that you didn't think it would work and you were kind of skeptical in the beginning? Tell us about that, Meg.
I absolutely did not think it would work. I was older. I had all these health issues that were cropping up that I just, was attributing to being older. I had indigestion all the time. My feet hurt, my back hurt. It was perimenopausal. I thought, this is just how I'm going to be. Even though I wasn't happy about it, I really didn't think, a diet or a protocol was going to work, and definitely not long term. Right. So I took a couple weeks and, I thought about it and, ran through my head all the stuff that Dawn had told me about the protocol and how it would work. And I did know that I needed accountability and I needed a coach. Because too often, when I tried my own methods, I would just let myself off the hook.
Yeah.
I'd be
That's
like,
so easy.
well, it's Friday, so I'm just going to have that piece of cake, or whatever.
Yep.
So, I thought about it for a little bit and I thought, well, it's a pandemic and what else am I doing? So I'm pulling the trigger. I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah. What a great, and again, this is the attitude. We do have some people in our clinic that saw this as an opportunity. Oh my gosh. You mean I can't go to restaurants? There's no parties. There's no social engagements. I'm kind of stuck. So, hey, why don't I take this time to lose some weight? Why don't I take some time to actually make a huge change in my life? Because there won't be any peer pressure. There won't be any of that other stuff. So kudos to you for making that pivot there and taking this in the other direction.
Yeah. And I had a small, I guess it's not really small, but for me, it was a small goal in the beginning because I really didn't think it was going to work. So,
Right.
But I would have been happy to lose 5 pounds at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
but instead,
I had hit my pregnancy weight, which was the scary weight, right? Because I gained a lot of weight when I was pregnant with my kids, 50 pounds.
Okay.
With both of them. So I was like, I'm just gonna do it. And so
that initial goal that you set was
20 pounds.
Yeah.
Yep. And in my first week, I lost 8 pounds. So I was like, okay, I think maybe this is going to work.
I love that.
So I hit the first goal pretty quickly. And then, Dawn and I set a new goal. And then I hit that and we set a new goal. And
That's
just
awesome.
kept going.
You know what? And that's awesome too, right? We have some clients that they'll throw that really long goal out there on the first day. And we have other clients that say, you know what, let's take this in chunks. And it just really, everybody's a little bit different and motivated a little bit differently. But so many people have been unsuccessful in the past, have been burned by things that they've tried and are just like, oh, I'm going to try this other thing, but I just don't think it's going to work. So let's not throw that big lofty goal out there.
Yeah.
So Dawn, when you first started working with Meg, what kind of challenges did you see with her? What was it like to see her attitude change?
Well, to support one of my quotes that you put up earlier, I believed in you the moment that I saw you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And as you guys just heard, Meg came in. I know, I love you too. Meg came in with that list of things that I've tried everything. I'm skeptical. I have indigestion. I have pain in my knees, in my joints. I went to my doctor. I feel like I'm going down the wrong path. And as soon as I hear those things, I get all giddy inside, right? Like, oh, I can fix that. I can fix that. I can fix that, right?
Yep.
And we're not allowed to say that. We're not allowed to say we cure anything. And so as coaches, we don't. But I can say that I strongly believe, based on prior experience, that I can help or relieve the side effects of some of that stuff. And
I love it. Well said. Well said.
Yeah. And I think that building that relationship between your dieter and the coach, you have to build that trust. And I think Meg and I did that pretty well by me when she tells me she wants to, get off of her meds, or she wants to relieve pain, or she wants to remove the indigestion or relieve it a little bit. I can talk to that and teach how the diet can do those things, which establishes trust with that dieter. The other thing about Meg was Meghan, pardon me, super compliant, right? And I think that when you can tell your dieters ahead of time as a coach how important that compliance is and explain the science and what's going to happen to the body, then they can lose 8 pounds the first week. I mean, sometimes it's 3 pounds, sometimes it's 18 pounds, right? The first week, depending on size and glycogen storage, etc. But when a dieter can grab onto that loss in the first week, and kind of like Meghan said, I would be happy with 5, then they're encouraged to keep going. And so Meghan grabbed onto her motivation, which was her purpose, and then she held on to that and created willpower because the diet was working for her. Yeah. So every week we did our virtual calls, and every week she was amazing. I think you were amazing yourself, right? Like, oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Yeah. But and how motivating, when that week kept coming off, it was, we're going for it.
Yeah, there's nothing that reinforces it better than results, right? If you keep seeing those consistent weight changes, oh my gosh, that's enough to really ramp that motivation way up.
But I don't think the dieter is going to get the results that they want if that coach isn't pouring into them 100%, right? And really getting them to see, like, week to week, okay, this is what's happening to your body. This is what you can expect. And Meghan was really, she listened to every single thing that I had to say. And we talked about problems each week, and I'd provide her a solution and she'd follow that solution. Now, not all dieters are as epic as she was, but she made it pretty easy to be successful because she followed the protocol so consistently. And then
I want to circle back real quick, Dawn. I want to circle back to this graphic that you referenced of yours. I love this picture on your social media feed, and the quote that you put on there, it says, "I believed in you the moment I set eyes on you." Right? I thought that was super powerful, and I think that if you walk into your client coach relationship that way as a coach, right, with those eyes, that sets the tone, and maybe the client can open up, be more authentic, and truly feel like, oh gosh, she's, she really is interested in me. She really is listening to me. She does believe in me. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. It's once the dieter feels it, I think they are compelled to be compliant.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this lady's going to help me, or this person, this coach,
Yep.
this man is going to help me achieve my goals. She's asking me what my goals are, and then she's reinforcing the fact that I can accomplish them, and then she's showing me and teaching me through the Ideal Protein Protocol and what they've taught us as coaches and clinic owners, and life becomes possible.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that we kind of talked about, and now Meghan is seeing this too, is on that initial consultation with your client. To me, I just see a lump of possibilities, so to speak. Right? I mean, literally, we have now the ability to look inside of them and see the person that's in there dying to get out. We see the potential, we see the possibility, and you try to assess as to where the client is on that scale too. Do they really feel that, or are they so far away from that, and you have to work up to it? I'm sure I've scared a lot of people by looking at them and going, "Oh my God, you can do this, and you can do that, and you can do this," and they're like, "I just want to lose 5 pounds. Oh my God, what is this guy? This guy's a nut, right?" So that's something that as a coach, you kind of have to get through. But that excitement, and like you said, they start talking about all those symptoms, and in your head, you're getting excited. You're like, woohoo, this is going to be so much fun, right?
Yeah, it is. It's so fun to help people what they think is impossible. And then you're like, it's not impossible.
You said that. Yep, you said that when we were talking the other day. You said, I love taking what people think is impossible and making it possible, and then saying, now what?
Yeah, like what's next?
Yeah.
And Meg
awesome.
did that. I mean, Meg she did that. And I mean, what was next for her was her life was changed, and she wants to change lives herself, which she did before she was even a coach.
And I was just going to get to that too, right? So, Meghan, I heard that you started doing the program, and kind of based on your results and what was going on with you, a couple other people might have been inspired to do it. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I think when I first started too, I was really quiet about it. I didn't really say much. I mean, not even really to my own husband. I got the box of stuff and I was just eating it, and he was like, "So what is this?" And I said, "Well, I'm just, trying this thing. I want to lose some weight." And he even ended up doing the protocol because he saw the results that I was having. And then so did a bunch of my friends. I think we ended up with 13 people in all that saw my results and joined the protocol, doing the protocol as well. And I really wasn't noisy about it, because again, I really didn't think it was going to work. So I didn't want to say anything, and then be like, "Oh, well, there she goes. She failed again," or, whatever, or it didn't work. So I just really, I was quiet about it, but people noticed,
It's the neat thing about this program is that the results speak for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Clients don't even really need to say anything. The people in their life are like, holy heck, what are you doing?
Yep.
Right? That's awesome.
Yeah. Did you get a haircut? No, I did not get a haircut.
Right? Because they're searching.
No, I got smaller jeans. Yeah.
It's like, what is that? What's going on with you?
Yep.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
13
really
people.
Yeah.
And so again, that also though shows kind of your influence and your pull with people, and how that might naturally kind of parlay itself into coaching, etc.
Well, and I think, Dawn talked a little bit about, the doctor that she originally worked for. It was a requirement that they get down to 19% body fat. But I think as a coach, and I know we haven't really gotten yet to how I became a coach, but when you can tell somebody that you lived it, and when you can show them the transformation, it makes all the difference. Instead of it, this is just somebody sitting in this office with these, food boxes to sell me who, is just selling a product.
Which is a lot of people's experiences, right? They'll walk
Yeah.
into a weight loss center and a different program, et cetera. And, a lot of times the person behind the desk is somebody who did not need to do it, never did it, what have you. We had a great conversation, you and I too, about the idea that, now somebody who walks in who had no idea who you were off the beginning, you actually have to show them, you feel like you have to justify yourself and say, no, look at me before.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that just launches the credibility through the roof.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that people then, they have an immediate kernel anyway of trust with you.
Yes.
Because they're like, okay, she's done this. She's lived this. So maybe she can help me.
Yeah, absolutely. Dawn, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I always say in my initial consult, I'm not asking you to do anything that I don't do myself, because I think it's really important. This diet's not always easy. I say a lot of people say it's easy, but it's not always that way, right? But I think dieters feel really comfortable when they know that you walk the walk and talk the talk, and that you've been there, and that you're not asking them to do something that you haven't done.
Which brings us to you ladies are just setting the show up for me. I love this. I think you've been practicing behind my back. So I'm going to put this slide up because that brings us right to this slide. I've been going through your social media feed. I absolutely love it. You're great with creating your own pictures with words on them, etc. And I love, this is my serious coach face. Let's get serious about your goals, right?
Yeah.
Because that is a serious coach face, man.
Well, this is me looking into your soul, telling you that I believe in you, right?
Definitely eyes piercing into my soul. And I'm like, oh God, she knows I had those Oreos. Okay. So, but the other graphic really struck me too, and I want you to speak to this, Dawn. The graphic says, so you have to sacrifice today. So suck it up and let's do it. You told me you were committed. You told me what you wanted. I promised you success. So you have to sacrifice today. Love, Coach Dawn. That's tough. That's tough love right there. I love that. I love that you said it, not me, because you're even tougher than I am. But tell us who you actually said that to first. Who do you?
To myself, right? Because we have these pity parties for ourselves, right? Like, I have to go to this party and I can't have this and I can't have that. And when you're on a journey, you have to have these conversations with yourself. When you've committed to this protocol, this is not a protocol that you get to deviate on very often, right? And so sometimes we have to suck it up. We decided to do this journey together, coach and dieter, and I promised you 100%. You promised me 100%. We're on our way to making all the dreams come true. And we have to have these positive, I think that's a positive talk, right? Is that we have to suck it up. We got to do it. Even if we have obstacles and complications and things that are derailing us, we got to suck it up, man. We have to stay in ketosis, right? We got to accomplish our goals. And so that was a conversation I was having with myself that I knew people would benefit from. So I put it out there, and the next day, I got a lot of comments from my dieters the next day. They were thinking I was getting mad at one of my dieters, but I was really talking to myself.
I love that. But you're right? I'm not asking you to do anything that I haven't done myself, that I haven't been through. And the role of a coach, quite frankly, is not to just pat you on the back and tell you good job, you'll get it next time. It's to get more out of you than you would get out of yourself. And
you told me what you wanted. You told me what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it happen. And you might not like me now, but you'll love me later.
And see, she can get away with that too, right? With that smile.
I tell them in the beginning, this is what I always say. My coaching style, I'm a very strict coach. But I am not bitchy. I am not condescending. I am not going to yell at you. I'm a very strict coach because I care about you and your results. And if I challenge you to follow the protocol, how it's designed, you will have the willpower every week to lose the pounds and reach your goals, because every morning you're waking up and you're fitting into your clothes and your indigestion is better and your knees are feeling better and you're getting compliments and you're doing things that you never thought you could do. If I don't challenge you to follow the protocol, then you're not going to get any of those things, and you're going to give up on yourself and you're going to give up on your dreams because you've tried so many things and something else has failed you. And so I think it's our jobs as coaches to really take a deep dive into that and challenge our dieters to be compliant with the protocol. And if you're going to have deviations, they need to be planned deviations where we work our butt off and we get to a certain point. We take into consideration the deviation. We know it's going to take us some time to get back on protocol, 4 days to get back into ketosis, and then we proceed with our goals. So you need to be strict. You have to be nice, and you have to be, you can't be bitchy, condescending, yell at people, because I don't think that works well. But I do think that you can challenge people and get success out of them, even when they don't want to sometimes.
Absolutely. What do you think, Meg? Did she was she bitchy to you? No.
No. And so the funny thing was, I remember exactly her saying, "I'm strict, but I'm nice," and very true. Absolutely. And I think, it's also worth mentioning that when you're going through any transformation, journey type like this, there's going to be some uncomfortable moments, right? But you don't grow unless there's a little bit of uncomfortableness. And I had a lot of people say to me, like, "Oh my gosh, it must have been so hard." And I said, actually, it wasn't. That's the most amazing thing, is it really wasn't hard. I mean, this behind me, this is easy.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why people are so successful, because it's easy.
Yeah.
And are there times when, you battle with yourself that, oh, I want this cookie or something? Sure. But for the most part, like, the plan is easy, it's repeatable, it's, measurable.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it works. And that's what made me want to, when I realized my goal, I wanted to help other people change their lives as well.
And again, she just tosses the softball to me because I was going directly there. What made you think, oh gosh, you know what? Yeah, I do want to help other people do this?
It was really the way I felt. I
Yeah.
mean, it's one thing to get in a smaller pair of jeans or, whatever, be able to pull that dress from the back of your closet that still has the tags on it that you never could quite get into. You bought it thinking, I'm going to lose 5 pounds, and then gained 5 and never got into it. That's one thing, but it was the way I felt. It was the fact that, I got off the blood pressure meds. The indigestion was gone. My feet
Right?
didn't hurt anymore. My back didn't hurt anymore. All these things that I was chalking up to, getting older, that was just part of it, all gone. And I thought, if I can even help one other person realize this kind of a feeling, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the best job in the world. And, for me, I had talked to the area director at that point, Dolores Sambato, and she said, Doc, I think you need to do the program. And if you do the program, you might want to have it in your office. And I was like, okay, that's fair enough. I'll go ahead and give it a shot. I think this probably is something I should do. And, at the end, maybe we'll consider it. I called her up after week 2. I'm like, oh my God, like, I feel amazing. And it's only been 2 weeks, right? My knees don't hurt anymore. My digestive system's clearing up. We got to do this. I'm putting in my application now. I can't wait that long to get started, because I never thought that I'd feel this good again. Right. Yeah.
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 I
Yeah.
mean,
Yes.
I used to say, oh, I'm, 54, but I feel like I'm 80. And now I
Right.
say I'm 56, but I feel like I'm 25,
Yes. Amen,
you know?
sister.
Yeah.
Amen. Seriously. And it's kind of like, you are motivated to keep the nutritional lifestyle, to
Yeah.
follow through with the plans for phase 2 and phase 3, because I don't want to give up this feeling again.
Never.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think
So
what I hear in both of you guys, real quick, just for our listeners,
yeah.
is
Yeah.
we're all close to 50 or over 50 years old, right?
You weren't supposed to tell anybody.
I know, but I'm hoping, John, that you're over 50 or close to 50. You're
Absolutely.
like, no,
54
I'm
is the
29.
magic number.
But it sounds to me like the message we want to send out there is if you're feeling like you're ready to give up and you have to throw in the towel because that's what people over 50 do,
Oh,
don't do it,
don't
right? There's
do
a
it.
whole nother life and a whole nother possibility out there, and that you can do it. We don't have to give up. We don't have to settle into that couch. We don't have to settle into the pills and the medication and the disease and things. We can change it and we can reverse it. Just
That
like
is the
both of you
status
guys did.
quo. That's what people
Absolutely.
expect, right? At this age, I should. And it's so funny. You go somewhere, like I go to the dentist or I go somewhere, and they say, "Okay, what medications are you on?" And I'm like, "I'm not on anything." And they're like, "Wait, what? You're not on? You're how old are you?" Because it's assumed that by the time, especially by the time you get to the big 50, that you've got one or two meds on board, and you're probably heading for more. And it's absolutely should not be the case.
Yeah.
Right? So you said, "Hey, Dawn, what do I do to become a coach?"
Yeah. And she said, well, call some clinics in your area, go visit, see what's going on there. And, it was November, still during COVID, pandemic time.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't really go in anywhere. I would drive by and see what some of the places looked like. And I
Gotcha.
called, and sometimes I wouldn't get a hold of anybody. If I ever got a hold of anybody, they were like, we're not looking for anybody. You can imagine, in November of 2020, no one was looking to hire a coach. So, I brought that back to Dawn. I'm like, yeah, I'm really not having any luck. And she was like, well, we could open a clinic. And I was like, could we?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about that. So,
So Dawn, what you hatched this idea? What?
Well, I had just opened my Marble Falls clinic, right? So I knew what it was going to take to open up another clinic. And I'm like, well, why not have 3, right? But I knew it was going to be in the hands of Ideal Protein, right? In terms of like our location and how it would all work with our standalone status and things like that. But, we put it out there. And I think with my reputation and Megan's talent, they accepted our application to do it in Chicago, and we made it happen. And
it's a natural fit. You guys are awesome.
I've worked with a lot of coaches, hired, fired, partnered, like worked with other coaches in my clinic and things. And, when you meet somebody, a dynamic coach is hard to find, and it's, so it was easy for me to pick Megan because I knew that you'd be amazing. And you had all the talent to do it and all of the passion and the story. And I knew that Ideal Protein, that you would represent the brand well. She had been coached well, right?
Amazingly.
And so
well.
I knew that it would be a perfect fit. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the funny thing was we hadn't even met at this point in person.
Yeah.
This is how we had met only, not even
a pandemic world, nobody could ever understand what was going to come out of it, right? And we focus a lot on the negative side of things that have come out of it, but the positives are absolutely amazing. And I think you two are an incredible example. Like I said, the dynamic duo, you guys are an incredible example of something super positive that has come out of you never would have met in the first place.
Yeah.
No,
I would have never thought this was possible in a million years. Like,
we never would have met in the first place.
Mind. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wouldn't have started a freaking podcast. I had no time for this, and scared to death, and what have you. And so it is really pretty neat to see that. But I also too, I love. We had talked about this, and I think that Dawn breeds and is kind of breeding a different style of ideal protein coach, right? We share the same concept that an ideal protein coach should be more than just an accountability partner, right? We actually kind of see ourselves in our role as a possibility partner. Again, harken back to what you said before, Dawn. I love, hearing what somebody thinks is impossible and then actually making it possible for them and then trying to figure out then what is next. Right?
Yeah. So I have to give you credit for that. Possibility partner is your tagline there, right?
Yeah, but you're the perfect example of it. I just 100%.
Thank you. But yeah, and I think as we move on in the years to come, are we not so much possibility partners for weight loss, but aren't we possibility partners for maintenance?
Oh, 100%. This goes
Right.
way beyond getting to your weight loss goal.
Yeah.
A possibility partner is focused on life possible. Life possible doesn't happen until phase 3, really, right?
Yeah.
But we
And
never, we always want to be your possibility partner for the rest of your life.
well, and I also think in the marketplace, the reputation is, oh, when I've done ideal protein and then I gain my weight back, right? And I always tell them that's with every single protocol. It's not just with the ideal protein protocol, right? So I think our goal for 2022 as coaches is really to focus on the maintenance program that IP has created for us. Now, I did 8.5 years of old maintenance, and now we have this new maintenance program. And I really want to encourage dieters to follow it. I want coaches to follow it, coaches to really learn it, because dieters will not keep their weight off unless we as coaches help them, right?
Yep.
We can't just help them lose their weight and not pay attention to maintenance. And it's taken me, I'd say it took me 5 years of coaching to really figure that out, that maintenance is more important than the weight loss. And so when we talk about accountability partners and possibility partners, it's for life, it's for maintenance. It's not just the weight loss piece, that it is possible to keep your weight off. I don't know how many people come into your clinic and are always worried, I can get the weight off, but can I keep it off? And that's probably a whole nother podcast, is maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to remind everybody that it's such a priority, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing for our dieters? What service are we doing for them if we only help them with the weight loss piece?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the new system. In fact, we as a clinic had kind of adopted at least the principles behind the new phase 2 and phase 3 well before Ideal Protein had. And when they came out with it, and I actually got to meet Deirdre before they announced everything, it literally just gave us procedures for what we knew already worked. Now they've just made it kind of a no-brainer, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun. Phase 2 is so much fun. You get new different foods already in phase 2. Mind-blowing. People are like, wait, I can have that in phase 2? What?
Well, I also think the power that it gives you, over what you're going to eat and how you're going to proceed is incredible, because now I think so many of us, as we go through the years and the weight is creeping on and you're not sure what to do, right? And so this gives you an absolute roadmap, and you still have your coach to help support you, that it again makes it really easy, and it makes you feel powerful, which is part of my tagline there. I am power.
Right. Again, you're leading me by the nose to all this stuff. I am power. I think that absolutely sums that up, right? You feel now like you are empowered to be able to maintain that weight loss, to have nutrition for life, to understand why you're eating what you're eating, and that your body truly thrives on that.
right?
Yeah.
To
And
have
it is,
gotten here and to be able to stay here,
yeah,
is really powerful.
it is probably the number one fear of most of my people. Not only, when they walk
Yeah.
through the door, but I have so many people just try to keep themselves in phase one because they're too scared to move on. But yeah, you're right. We need to let them know that, we will empower them, and we have the system and the structure too, right? It used to be that we start off with all of the structure, and then it was just kind of like, woohoo, okay, well, the world's your oyster. Let's figure this thing out. And now it's like, no, 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 we've got structure. We've got structure all the way through. Yeah. All right. Wow, we are rolling through this thing. You know what? I do now want to touch on. We kind of talked about the concept of things that people are actually missing out on in life. How much of life is passing you by? How many great moments, how many great things, how many great opportunities are you missing because you're overweight, because you feel awful, because you don't want to put yourself in that position? Meg, I know that there was a really, for me, a really powerful example of this when when we talked about being in pictures and taking pictures, and how, number one, it's kind of hard for a lot of people to find a before picture. Why?
Because I wasn't in the pictures. I was either taking the picture, or if I was in the picture, I was hiding behind other people or my kids.
Yeah.
And that was on purpose. People, outsiders, may look at that picture and be like, oh, looks so nice, whatever. But I knew that I was behind someone on purpose
Mm-hmm.
because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to be seen.
Yeah. And so, this is a great example, especially for this time of year, the thing that you shared with us that was so, so powerful. What was one of the first family photos you wanted to take?
Yeah, so it was our Christmas card last year. So my Christmas cards for,
Look how
I guess,
beautiful.
16 years before this were always just the kids. And then last year I was like, we are going to be in the Christmas card
I
on the
love that.
front and center. Yep.
And you have to do
Yeah.
a double take sometimes. Like when I see her in pictures and then I see her daughters are a little older now. So
Yeah.
it's even worse. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, which one? Which one is Meghan?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something.
Because you're shorter than your kids, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
At least in that picture, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm the shortest. Yep.
Yeah. So it's adorable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my nephew was recently here for Thanksgiving, and he said about my daughter that I'm standing next to there. He said, "Oh my gosh, it's crazy how much you two look alike." So,
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, we talked about that. We also talked about you had a vacation coming up, which usually you would dread. How do you dread going on vacation? What's up with that?
Oh my gosh, getting in a swimsuit and shorts and, just going into the closet and finding, oh, does last year's summer dress fit? No, it doesn't. Oh my God, now what am I going to do? And not only could I go and get, last year's summer, it was like summer dress from 10 years ago was fitting. And I didn't cry putting on the swimsuit,
Yeah.
it was really something else, that feeling of that monkey on your back for so many years, the niggling, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. I don't know how to lose weight. Oh my God, I have to lose weight. Was just gone. So all of that I didn't have to think about. I just had to buy a swimsuit and put on my shorts and feel great.
And what I hear there is it was dreadful, right? It's a dreadful experience when we walk into our closet, whether we're going to an event or on a vacation, and we only can wear like two things. And when you go through a journey and you can walk into your closet and you're like, I can wear this, I can wear that, I can pack this, I can pack that. It's just like so much joy, right? That radiates. And it's not so much vanity, right? But it's just whatever it is, not feeling dreadful, and you're feeling joyful. And there's so much freedom in that, to where we become better coaches, better wives, better husbands, better moms, better parents, just because we're not living in this sad, I would say it is a kind of a dreadful, sad place, right? When we
Yeah.
can't do the things that we want to do. And then all of a sudden we can. It's just life changing. And it changes the lives of the people around us, right?
Yeah.
We're
And
better,
being able
better
to
at
walk
taking care
into
of
a
our family.
fitting room and put something on that you like and like how it looks on you, or not think, oh, well, okay, I can put this on, but now how do I hide this? Or what else can I put on to make this look better? Because I like the piece of clothing, but I don't like it on me. It's so great to just be able to put something on and be like, okay, I like this, and buy it and walk out.
Yeah.
And it must be, again, the reason this program works and all these great results come about and you get into much smaller sizes is because, not too many people talk about all the hours of exercise that we make people do, right? I mean, we crack the whip. It's like, 2 to 5 hours a day of exercise. And, that's how we get people to lose the weight. I'm going to swing this topic over to Dawn. I think she's a pretty powerful person to speak to this because she's no stranger to activity. When I was going through her background, et cetera, I know that you've got a personal training certification. You've participated in so many different activities, actually history of bodybuilding and fitness competition. You name it, and now you even do the ultra distance running. What?
Yeah.
Right?
It's well, I believe that if you have endurance, right? You need endurance outside of your normal life so you can have endurance for life. So I can't tell you how many times I tap into my skills from the trail, into my work.
Yep.
And so I have to train. I have to train my body so I can train my mind. I have to train my mind so I can train my body. And I do it all just to be the best coach that I can. And are we gonna talk about I'll wait till you ask me the questions, but I'm assuming we're gonna go into this exercise.
No, wait, we got a train going by. Hang on. We got the train going by. Well, you brought up a great point, and yes, we're going to talk about this now, Dawn. You mentioned that even your segue into Ideal Protein in the first place, you were already training and participating in triathlon, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But like so many of the people out there, and again, if you go to a triathlon, if you go to a marathon, if you go to any of these races, the population density there is pretty much the same as the regular population when we talk about percentages of people who are overweight, percentages of people who are obese, because I think, unfortunately, a lot of people go into those activities thinking it's a vehicle for them to lose weight. And if I just train for a marathon, I'm going to drop 100 pounds and I'm going to be a new you, right? But that's not the case. In fact, it's quite the opposite. And that's kind of why you got into Ideal Protein.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was always, every time, obviously I had multiple children pretty quickly. And so I had weight to lose. And I was always counting how many miles do I have to run to lose this amount of pounds. And I was figuring out how many calories and what my caloric deficit was. And then I would have to watch all those numbers. We didn't have Apple Watches back in those days, right? We just had these different Garmins and things, which still love Garmin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But once I found the protocol and I'm like, okay, I either have to go run a marathon to lose 1 pound of fat, because in one marathon we lose 1 pound of fat, or I can eat chicken and broccoli and some bioavailable proteins from Ideal Protein and lose that pound of fat. And being a working mother, which one is more beneficial, right? Which one is faster? I would definitely say Ideal Protein all day. The other thing that I noticed there is when we work out with extra weight, like let's take John with your 60 pounds or Meg with your 60 pounds too. Both of you are trying to work out with 300 pounds of pressure on your lower extremities. And what we worry about there as coaches and as a personal trainer, injury, right? Because if you get injured, you're going to gain even more weight. And so my philosophy here in the clinic now is because I coach a bunch of athletes. I'm an athlete myself. Let's get the weight off first, right? And get all of that pounds of pressure off with the protocol and preserve your muscle mass. And then let's find the exercise that, and I think you've quoted me on this, is that you're going to show up for, right? Do you want to rock climb? Do you want to do yoga? Do you want to do Tai Chi? Do you want to meditate? Do you want to walk? Do you want to run? Do you want to do triathlon? Do you want to, what is it that you're going to show up for? Because from now on, exercise serves purpose for confidence and strength and brain health, muscle health, bone health, endurance, determination. There's so many awesome things, heart health, that come from exercise, that it doesn't have to be focused on weight loss. So for those of us that are older, we have to preserve our joints. We have to preserve our bodies, because if you get hurt, God, it sucks, right? I mean, there's so many things that go wrong when you get hurt, whether it's a medication you got on board for pain, or it's you can't exercise, then you're eating wrong and you're gaining weight. So we just really like to focus on getting that weight off first, and then finding an exercise for life that you'll show up for because you love it, not because you're trying to count the calories on your watch and figure out your deficit, So I think that's important.
Not only that, but I think it's important to mention too, when you get injured, because that's what was happening to me, right? Then you're spending time and money at the doctor, at the PT, and that's not easy to fit into your day and your weeks, for however many months it takes you to rehab. So, that's one of the things that I hate the most is, all of that extra stuff once you get injured. So it's not even only that now you can't work out, and now you're panicking about, I'm going to gain weight because now I can't work out for 2 months because I, screwed up my knee. But you got to go to the doctor, and you got to get an x-ray, and you got to go to PT, and you may need an MRI. And it's just all that stuff is awful. Like, who wants to do that?
Well, and as a chiropractor, right? For me, the self-perpetuating cycle that I would see with my patients, right? They would come in because they injured their back, they can't stand up straight, they're overweight, and doc, I was exercising, I was losing weight because I know I need to lose weight, and then I threw my back out. But if I can lose weight, my back will get, and it's just a cycle that they can't break. And so, again, when this first came about in my office, I was like, oh my God, I've got the answer for this population of people, right? And the most frustrating thing is to have those people come in month after month. Oh, I did it again, doc. What exercise can I do to stop this from happening? What can I? Well, let's see. If we can get a hold of the chemical makeup of your metabolism and get the inflammatory component of your body down by changing your nutrition, this problem will go away. Right? Oh yeah, doc, I know what to do. I just, no, you don't. You're just still not listening to me. That's my latest frustration.
Yeah. So doc, would you agree that, the less amount of weight that we have on our body equates to less injury?
Oh, 100%.
I mean,
it's like you said, this is twofold. And what were you saying? There's a great statistic. I'll let you say it because we were talking about it. If you lose a pound, how many pounds of pressure? 5 pounds of pressure, right?
Some joints and tendons that are 7, and the doctor taught me this, and you can Google it too. I didn't pull it out of my rear end, but I always use 5 pounds to be conservative,
Yeah. For every pound you lose, it's 5 pounds of pressure off of the joints in your lower extremity.
It's hips, knees, ankles, feet.
Yeah.
Now back is a little bit different, so I don't talk about that because I think I don't know that statistic, but I do know it's hips, ankles, knees, feet. That's why I love
had it all.
Yeah, I love when people come in and I'm like, "Do you have pain? Do you have pain? Where's your pain?" Can I write that down?
Yep, let's put that on your list. Let's put it on your list.
You can use it for maintenance because there's a threshold. Okay, and we use this for diabetes and high blood pressure. Meg probably knows this number too, and if she doesn't, I probably wasn't a good enough coach at that time. But there's a threshold where the pain goes away, or the diabetes, the side effects of diabetes gets better, or you can get off some of your meds. So that threshold meaning your magic number. So when Meg is over 150 pounds, her knee pain comes back, right? So we know for quality of life that she needs to weigh under 150. Or when I'm over 150 pounds, my blood pressure medication comes back on board. So I know I have to stay under that number. And when you can point those things out to your dieter as you go and you find those thresholds, you can use them for maintenance and make the dieter aware that, okay, regardless of what happens in life, you cannot go over this number because the pain comes back and
or your meds come back, or your CPAP machine comes back.
Oh, that's a big one.
That's one of my favorite, getting people off that machine. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, that's huge.
Those thresholds.
Well, because those are more tangible life circumstances, as opposed to looking at a chart and saying, well, you're this tall and you're this old, and so you have to keep your weight under this. Well, that has no context. But when people can relate it very specifically to the problems that they had that they don't have anymore, it's so much more important.
Well, so and you can see powerful. It, like one day we have knee pain, like 1 week, and then the next week it's gone. Right. And you got to celebrate those moments. You should be charting that and writing it down and making the dieter really aware that at this weight, this is when the pain goes away or the meds go away. At this weight, this is when it comes back.
The other part while we're on exercise, Dawn, that we talked about was, again, the idea that so many people, especially coming in January, they're going to join the gym. They're going to sign up for personal training. And those trainers and those people are going to say, you need to start lifting weights. We need to change you that way. That's going to be your ticket, right?
Yeah.
I literally had a client in this morning. We had talked about her. You and I had talked about her last time. And she reiterated that her personal trainer, literally, she lost 50 pounds right now in under 4 months. She's never had results like this before. And her trainer was like, you just need to come back here and you don't need to do that. Went, oh, okay. But you and I have been doing it for years. And I've never achieved results. And now, and I said to her just what you had said to me. It's like, now we're going to finally get to see what all those years of lifting weights and all those years in the gym, what you did back then, right? By peeling off the fat on top of that. Can you speak to that, Dawn?
I mean, look at Meg's. I don't know if you can put it up there, but if you check out her before and after picture, you can see it there because Meg's worked out for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Her athletic build here, and you have amazing skin as well, Meghan. It retracted super well because you can just see it, and you can see all her muscle tone. Like you can see her thigh muscles and her shoulder, her delts, her chest muscles. I mean, even like her forearm muscle, right? And that's all underneath. That's not from working out to get the weight off. That's all her muscle memory from all the years of working out. And again, your skin looks amazing, Meghan. Fantastic.
I even had somebody call me out on that and say, you must have been working out so hard because look at you. And I said, no. All I did for those 4 months, 5 months was walk my dog and, float around in the pool. I'm like, that's from all the working out I did all the time. That's just, it's been underneath the extra weight, and now you can actually see it.
Yeah. And I have to mention here, just because we have to do this, that's why Ideal Protein is amazing, right? It's a muscle sparing protocol. So you get to keep that muscle. I won't take credit for this either because the doc taught me this, but I lost 57 pounds. 57 pounds of what did you lose?
Right.
Fat. Okay. Yeah.
And so hopefully those of us coaches out there that are coaching to fat percentage, okay, I don't coach to BMI, I coach to fat percentage. Everybody does a little different. Yep. You can tell the dieter, I lost 57 pounds of weight. 50 of it was fat. 7 of it was water. And then there you go with all your muscle mass underneath. And then obviously if you lose muscle, we ruin our metabolism. That's why we use Ideal Protein and have to really adhere to some of their cardiovascular rules in terms of not doing too much cardio because you want to keep that muscle mass, right? So important, and you can see it in Meg's pictures. So
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it gets lost in the shuffle sometimes, but I do want to reiterate, Dr. Tran, who developed the original protocol, developed a protocol because he was working with Olympic level athletes who wanted to shave off just that extra bit of fat off their body while preserving their muscle so that they could perform at their absolute best. Right? That was what the protocol was originally designed for. And then he started applying it to his regular patients in his general practice and thought, oh my gosh, what is going on here? Right. And that was the beginning of all of it. And, that can't get lost. This isn't just for people that need to lose 57 pounds.
no.
This is for the athlete who says, man, I can never get my body fat percentage below X.
Yep.
Man, there's that last 10 pounds I've never been able to budge. I've had so many people come in for that. And, when that happens, look at that. How many pounds?
This is how I love to tell, my dieters. I'm like, some people think, oh, just 10 pounds, right? But this is 5 pounds of fat. This is not nothing.
Right.
Oh my God.
This is something.
That is something.
I love and adore those dieters, right? The 5 or 10 pound dieters.
Sure.
Right? Because they've been working their butt off to get that 5 or 10 pounds. And again, I just tell them I have to eat some chicken and broccoli and some bioavailable proteins, and boom. And they're like, oh my gosh, I've been working at this and starving myself for so long, right?
And working out like crazy.
Yeah. And you get to figure
out. And
I
have to say, I love working out. So I don't want to totally just working out.
No.
But it should be fun. It should be fun.
There was no way I was going to lose those 57 pounds by working out.
Nope. And after you did, and after you do, going back to the gym is 10 times more fun because you can see your muscles that you're actually working out, right?
And you feel better in your workout clothes.
And I'm not getting injured. Yeah.
And you're not checking off a quota. Oh my God, I've got to burn so many calories. I've got to do this. No. What do I want to do today? Let's work on the gun show. Let's go.
I know.
Yeah.
Right. I have to tell the listeners really quick. So one of my favorite stories, I coach a couple collegiate athletes, and one of them came to me, 9-minute mile. She's a volleyball player. We did 20 pounds over the summer. Yeah. 6:30 mile.
There you go.
Just weight loss. No training, because she has all the endurance in the world, right? She's super fit, but too much weight because they, in college, they eat like horses there, with the way they train.
That's what they're taught.
Yeah. And they need the carbs for performance. But over the summer, she took that break. It's pretty epic what you can do with just fat loss with an athlete.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, ladies, we could go on for another couple of hours, and we'd end up with 2 or 3 episodes, and we'll do that. We'll meet again, and we'll have another episode. I want to bring this one in for a landing. We had talked about yesterday and in our conversations. This is a perfect time of year to inspire people to new goals, to new levels. Dawn, you shared with me that you wanted to try to do that for both Ideal Protein clients as well as Ideal Protein coaches, and maybe try to give us some words of inspiration for 2022.
Awesome. So again, thank you for having this show and giving me a microphone, because I love talking to dieters and coaches just so we can change the world together. And for me, I try to do some type of inspirational word for every year. So one year we did, endurance. One year we did consistency. But this year I really want to focus on mindset, right? And that's a mindset for a coach and a mindset for the dieter. So I know the diet is very structured, and that's a benefit for a lot of us. But if you can be compliant as a dieter and give 100% to the protocol, your coach, and I should have probably said this the opposite way, but your coach will encourage you and give 100% as well, right?
Yep.
And so if you're a coach, just imagine, walk through this with me, those coaches that are on the line here. Let's say you have a dieter that comes in and you're just giving them the protocol sheet and you're just selling boxes and weighing them in and saying, good job, bad job, see you next week, I don't think you're giving 100% to that dieter. And so I think in turn, that dieter is going to feel that you're not giving 100%, that maybe you're not listening to their purposes or listening to their problems. And so I hate to tell you this, but they're going to give you back exactly what you give them. So if you're giving that dieter 70%, that dieter is going to give you 70%.
Yeah.
And I know that Ideal Protein has worked so hard on their maintenance program and on their protocol and coaching coaches and teaching us how to be our best. So I would encourage all of you and challenge all of you to really do a deep dive with your dieters and try to give more than 100%. I give everything I've got to those dieters. And what that means, what does it mean to give all you've got, right? That means that you're going to sit down with those dieters, that you're going to ask them questions with what they're struggling with every week. You're going to ask them, do they feel determined every week? What is good? What is bad? How does all of that associate and play into maintenance possibly? But really making your dieters feel that you care about them. And if you do that, you will earn their trust, you will earn their respect, and they will want to be compliant. On the flip side, dieters out there, please do the protocol the right way. Your coaches are trying to coach you and emphasize the importance of measuring your broccoli and measuring your meat and only doing 4 servings of fake sugar. And really, they're trying to pour everything into you. But if you're giving 60% to the protocol, I promise you that you might not get 100% from your dieter, or from your coach, pardon me. So my challenge this year is get the right mindset, okay? Think about giving 100% to your protocol, give 100% to your coach. Coaches out there, give 100% to your dieters, dig deep into what they really need, and fight for each other, right? I want you to fight for your own success. I want you to fight for your dieter and really work on getting the weight off and maintaining your weight. This is not just a diet, it's a lifestyle. And I challenge you to see it that way and give 110% to both sides of it, and we will change the world. That's all I got, John.
Wow, that was fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much, Dawn. No,
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
You really hit the nail on the head. And again, as you were talking about that, I'm thinking to myself, man, I really need to pick my game up. Yeah, you're right. And you can just kind of think about those situations, those clients, and vice versa. It's kind of like, hey, do you feel like I'm giving you 100%? Because if you don't, I apologize. And how can I up my game? Right? All right. So let's bring this in for a landing and a close. Meg, I want to show a little bit here. Woohoo! Your clinic. Right now,
Yay.
when did you open? When was opening day?
February of 2021.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Not yet a year old.
Not yet a year. Mm-hmm.
True Body Dynamics, and your website, tbdweightloss.com, rolls right off the tongue. I love that picture of you sitting in front of the products on the floor.
Yeah.
And we talked about it before. I love your Laverne and Shirley TBD shirt.
Yeah. And I'm just about 2 miles north of Wrigley. So if you're in Chicago, come see me.
There you go. Yeah. Next time, you know what? Maybe next season when the Nats are in town, I'll travel.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I would love. Wrigley is definitely on that list of places I would love to see a baseball game.
It's a great ballpark.
The historic nature of all of that would be super, super cool. Well, congratulations for your journey personally. And, again, I wish you all the luck in the world in your journey professionally. You're part of the Life Possible team now. We are a tribe of people that have been on this podcast. We're going to keep in touch. We're going to share ideas back and forth. I love doing that with all the people who've been on the show. So
thank you so much for having us today. It's been fantastic.
Well, and I do apologize because evidently I was kind of dense and I didn't really understand the proddings I was getting over Facebook that someone might want to be on my show, but might be too shy to say she wanted to be on my show.
I was just being subtle.
and you were, but unfortunately, I'm a guy with most men. You can't be subtle. We don't pick up on the subtle hints. So thank you for being persistent. I'm so glad that we got to bring your story to the world, to Ideal Protein Nation. Dawn, where are you again? You're in, again, one of my cities on my bucket list. So Austin, Texas, and then a second Texas location in Marble Falls. Yeah. If you want to get in touch with Dawn, she's at Vibrant Weight Loss, www.vibrantweightloss.com. Evidently, the internet broke in Austin, and so I think we might have lost Dawn as well.
Frozen.
We can talk about her, and she can't talk about her. Oh. But yes, it's been such a thrill to know both of you ladies and to have you on the show. And like I said, I hope we get to do a second show someday. I'd love to do a show with a client of yours, Meg, because that would really make it full circle.
Yeah,
and so I want you to keep that in the back of your mind as your success stories and your people are changing their lives. Keep that in the back of your mind. Then we'll bring them on as the success story and you on as the coach. And
sounds fantastic.
That'll be awesome. All right. Hang out in the studio. Maybe we'll get Dawn back, but I'll see you in a sec.
Okay.
All right, Ideal Protein Nation. There it is. Yet another wonderful show in the bag. Those ladies are the dynamic duo of Ideal Protein. I'm so glad that you tuned in with us. I hope that there was something in this show that resonated deep inside you and helps you to make that decision to do the Ideal Protein program, to potentially change what's possible for your life. If you had done it before and you've been on the fence as to whether it's time to restart, take January 2022 to restart your journey. Come back, see what's new in phase 2 and phase 3, Nutrition for Life. It's an absolutely amazing program all the way through. And if you know or you think that the show might help a family or a friend, send the show to them. Send them a link on YouTube or on Facebook. And as always, please like, subscribe, and share us on Facebook and YouTube. Our audio is on iTunes, Spotify, and so many other. We just added Stitcher to one of the places that hosts our podcast now. Super excited. And in fact, I just found out that we are almost at 10,000 downloads on the audio platforms. So please, Ideal Protein Nation, help me out. Subscribe and download shows, especially over the holiday season as you're looking for extra motivation to get yourself through, on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, so that I can get over that 10,000 mark. You know what? If you have decided that you want to make the decision to do the Ideal Protein program and you're in the Northern Virginia area outside of Washington, D.C., look me up. My clinic is Barnes Chiropractic Health and Fitness. However, as of January 1st, I'm super excited to announce we are going to be known as Reset Wellness, which is the next evolution in our clinic. So look me up at idealdietcenterville.com. That's our existing website. Pretty soon that will get an overhaul and an upgrade as well. So thank you for being with us. I look forward to bringing you another show as soon as I can get it in the books. It will probably be, I'll do something real quick for New Year's, but we'll probably have our first full feature show second week of 2022. So if I don't get to see you, happy holidays, happy New Year. Instead of a resolution list this year, let's think about a possibility list. Let's put down on paper, as you're waxing nostalgic this New Year's Eve, not the resolutions that you're not going to stick to, but the possibilities that you want to try to achieve for 2022. And your coach, bring it to your coach so that they can help you achieve those goals. As always, look forward to seeing you in Life Possible. I'm going to have to edit